The theme of fear is present in today's readings, and basically our Lord is telling us, don't be afraid of anything except one thing. And in today's first reading from the book of Genesis, the brothers are once again afraid that Joseph may want to get revenge for how they had treated him in the past. This is after their father dies. So they thought, okay, as long as his father is alive, then he won't do anything. But now that his father has died, they're worried Joseph will take revenge, but he does not. And he basically tells them, don't be afraid. He's going to, do not be afraid. Am I in the place of God? Even though you intended to do harm to me, God intended it for good in order to preserve a numerous people as he is doing today. So Joseph sees God's providence acting there. He trusts in God. He's not in the place of God. He doesn't want to take revenge. He doesn't want to exact justice. That's for God to do. If they have done wrong, God will punish them. So Joseph trusts in God, and we are called to trust in God. And when it comes to fear, fear can be a tactic of the evil spirits, because when we give in to fear, we become paralyzed. We feel that we can't act the way that we should. So fear can even prevent us from thinking clearly. So it's important that we trust in God. And I think it's true to say that we have too many fears. We might fear, our health issues. So getting sick, for example, we're afraid of that. We don't want to get sick. Understandable. Some people fear not being able to pay their finances, or they might fear losing their job. Understandable. Some people fear being hurt by others. Some people fear being humiliated by others. Sometimes we fear saying things because we're going to put our foot in our mouth. We say foolish things sometimes. So there's many things that we fear. We fear going to hell, which is a good thing to fear in some sense. But our Lord is saying, don't worry about all these things. There's only one thing you need to fear, and if you fear God, if you fear offending God, then you don't need to fear anything else. This is the only thing you need to worry about. And it mentions in the Old Testament, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And with this fear of God, it's not this, because God is so powerful and so harsh. Rather, it's a fear of offending God, because we know he's so good, because we know that if we offend him, we lose the blessings that would have come to us otherwise. So this is why we should fear God. And in the New Testament, in the first letter of John, he mentions perfect love casts out fear. Perfect love casts out all fear. So if we have perfect love of God, we don't need to be afraid of anything. So basically our Lord in today's gospel reading is saying, look, the disciple's not above the teacher. If they treated me badly, if they crucified me, if they treated me this way, they're going to do the same to you. But don't be afraid. Even the hairs on your head are all counted. God knows how many hairs you have on your head. God knows everything. God will give you the graces that you need. But you see, for us, part of the problem is we cling to this worldly life. And that's why we fear getting sick. We fear dying. We fear so many things. But no, we need to realize that we're really living for eternity. Eternity is our goal. And all the things that we experience in this world, even the difficulties, if we trust in God, God is able to use those things to our advantage. So no matter how we may be suffering or oppressed, trust in God. And this great trust in God will enable us to receive the graces of God. But when we give in to fear, our fear paralyzes us. Our fear makes us focus on the things that we are afraid of, and we keep thinking of it. It's kind of like a ghost haunting us over and over again and not going away because of our fear. So we need to have this perfect trust in God. Now notice at the very end of today's gospel reading what our Lord says. And take this to heart. Everyone, therefore, who acknowledges me before others, I also will acknowledge before my Father in heaven. But whoever denies me before others, I also will deny before my Father in heaven. He's talking about fear. He's talking about persecution. In yesterday's gospel, it was, I'm sending you out like sheep into the midst of wolves. He's saying you're going to be persecuted. But then he says, okay, don't fear. Don't worry about any of these things. Don't worry that you're going to be attacked. Don't worry that you're going to be killed. Don't worry even if you're going to be martyred. But if you do not acknowledge me before others, then I cannot acknowledge you before my Father. In other words, he's telling us, manifest your faith. Acknowledge your faith before others. Don't be afraid to manifest your faith before others. And many Catholics are. They're afraid to say grace before meals in a public place, in a restaurant. They're embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed about your faith. Be proud of your faith. We have the truth. So let us do what we can to manifest the truth, to manifest our faith to those around us. Just a reminder, we have a funeral today at 10:30 a.m. for Catherine Rajaratnam. May her soul and the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace.